We live in America, we care about America, we love America. Seems that people, for one reason or another, are frustrated about how ineffective seems government sometimes is. That we only see fight between the politicians instead of coming with ideas, throwing the problem at each other, finger
Yes.
pointing at each other.
Yes.
So I see you as a very pragmatic, boots on the ground, idealistic politician. How do you cope with it? And there is hope that everyday Americans, we can come together and listen to politicians like you that are working so hard in moving issues with real bills, real ideas. Do we have hope at the end of the tunnel?
There is always hope. There is always hope. The great thing is people think that meanness and hate is viral. Kindness and love are as well. I remember on a plane recently, I was putting up my overhead baggage, and some people are really being nice to me, recognizing me, but I sit down next to a mom and a daughter from Alabama. Mother is 80, daughter is 60. They were like, "Who are you? Are you a famous athlete?" And I go, "Thank you very much. I could be." But no, I say, "Ma'am, I'm a United States Senator." And the first thing we always want to know, left or right, we want to know, what tribe are you in? So she goes, "Are you a Democrat or Republican?" And I go, "Ma'am, I'm a Democrat." And she looks sour and angry. She goes, "Well, I should have brought my Trump hat." Now, that's every day in America, moments like that happen. But I don't like that music. I'm not going to dance to that tune. I'm going to try to avoid it. I'm going to try to scratch the record. And I looked at her and I go, "Oh my gosh, Donald Trump. He signed two of my biggest piece of legislation that I've ever written into law." And I started telling her about my criminal justice reform bill that a group of us got passed. Donald Trump signed that bill, and another bill to get investment in urban areas, opportunity zones, and rural areas. And before you knew it, she and I were talking, the three of us, having a good time as Americans, not as left and right, not as Republican or Democrat. It works even in the Senate. When I got to the Senate, I went to I was trying to get to know all my Republican colleagues, take them out to dinner, sit in their office. It was an incredible odyssey. I go to see Jim Inhofe, who just retired from the Senate. You probably know him, Oklahoma senator, considered to be a right-wing stalwart, chairman, older than me. I go to his office for Bible study. I figure I'm going to get to know him by going to his Bible study. And as soon as I walked in, I saw, as I'm looking around your office, something that challenged my implicit biases. We all have implicit biases about each other. I didn't expect to see him with a picture on his mantle of him and a little black girl in an affectionate embrace. And I call all my older senators by their titles. You know, they're not my peers. They're my older, like my parents' age, like our parents' age. I go, "Mr. Chairman, sir, who dat?" and he goes, "His family adopted this little girl out of really difficult circumstances." I was really moved by it. Many months later, a big education bill is going through the Senate. Lamar Alexander from Tennessee guarding the bill, not letting anybody put amendments on the bill. I understand the strategy. You don't want to let a bad amendment sink a bill. But I was frustrated because I had an amendment to help homeless and foster children. And I didn't know how to get it done, but I see Jim Inhofe in the well. I remember the little girl. I go up to him and I go, "Sir, would you be willing to co-sponsor this amendment with me?" He said, "Let me think about it." And eventually he says, "I'm in. I'm with you." I get him. I get Chuck Grassley. I get all these Republican elder statesmen from the Republican Party, chairman, and now it's the law of the land. That would not have happened if I did not go to sit with him in a human way, not a party way, not a left-right way, not assuming I knew everything about him, not realizing that we all, you and I both, are mountain ranges. We both have peaks and valleys. Sometimes we get so distracted by people's valleys, we forget that they too have peaks. And so I don't care if it's in the halls of Washington or in an airplane when we're traveling. We all have an obligation not to see the lines, but see the ties that bind us. Not to see the divisions, but to see the oneness. Not to play the tune that the larger businesses want us to play of hate, culture of contempt, of left-right politics, but to remind people that we are all humans and we have compelling things in common, and that's the basis for with which we could do great things in America.